Hey everyone, welcome back to Inside the Cage. Bobby Green ignites UFC buzz. UFC lightweight Bobby Green is throwing down the metal glove and calling out his fellow warriors to show they've got that true gangster spirit. And yes, he's done the short notice fight multiple times in his career. Now the real question is, who's ready to step into the ring and prove they've got the guts to go toe-to-toe in Texas? Green's laying down the challenge to his fellow fighters lately. During his chit-chat, he's asserting that he wants to see who among them possesses the same level of toughness and resilience that he does, the kind he describes as gangster. Also, he emphasizes the extreme challenges he faced during these situations. Interestingly, he expresses doubt, suggesting that he believes no one will take him up on the challenge, but he's eager to find out if anyone is truly up to the task. "I want to see who's gangster like me," Green said in a video posted to his Instagram stories. "I fought on 10 days' notice. I went on 2 weeks' notice. I done made weight, passed the F out, my lungs collapsed, and everything on 2 weeks' notice. I did it all. Let me see who gangster like me. I guarantee don't nobody step up. Let's find out." Moreover, the UFC is on the hunt for a replacement after the news about Hooker. And guess what? Some of Green's fellow warriors are throwing their hats into the ring. While former lightweight champ Rafael dos Anjos popped up and invited him for a fight in his backyard at 165-170 pounds. But that's not all. Jared Gordon also dropped a message for him on Twitter. "Run it back." So, fight admirers, let's see whose fighter will be picked to step up and take the stage. It's fight night drama for sure. Cormier's reaction to Bisping's last-minute UFC 200 proposal. Back to UFC 200 in July 2016, where the main event was in a tight spot. Now here comes Michael Bisping, our fearless champ. You know, it had all the makings of an epic night until fate played its hand. The highly anticipated main event between Daniel Cormier and Jon Jones got the boot just 3 days before the fight night, turning the event into a near disaster. Now here comes the twist. Fresh off his legendary short-notice title win over Luke Rockhold at UFC 199, Bisping, being the fearless warrior he is, tossed his name into the mix. With the main event in jeopardy, he was ready to step up, replace Jones, and turn another last-minute shakeup into an opportunity. In his YouTube channel, Michael Bisping recounts the time when Daniel Cormier needed an opponent for UFC 200 after Jon Jones was pulled from the fight. Essentially, he offered himself up for the challenge via a tweet. Also, Bisping emphasizes his seriousness, stating he would have faced Cormier without any hesitation. He acknowledges Silva's performance, but also points out that Silva got beat soundly. Eventually, Bisping is reflecting on his offer to face Cormier, highlighting his serious intent, and expressing his willingness to take on challenges, even at the last minute, with a fearless and determined mindset.
And DC needed an opponent. Right? I tweeted out, "I'll do it." I was the middleweight champion then, right? And,
Yeah.
I was deadly serious. And DC kind of laughed it off. Bisping, what's he talking about? I was deadly serious. I'll step in there with it. And now, as we know, it was Anderson Silva.
Meanwhile, didn't get to see Bisping and DC throw down in the octagon, but man, their chimichanga challenge was pure entertainment.
100% I was serious. Do you know what I mean? Step up, last minute, no training camp. I don't give a shit. He's going to take me down. He might pound me out. Who knows? Probably choke me. It's another training session, and I've got nothing to lose. Do you know what I mean?
You're not losing your title. You get a big old fat check.
It's like, I'll give it a do. I'll give it a do. Come on, let's go, DC. Let's see what you got.
In a casual chat, Bisping's laying it out plain and simple. He's fully aware that duplicating his epic win against Rockhold might be a stretch, but when it comes to stepping in against Cormier on short notice, he's all in. No second thoughts.
Listen, he's a beast. He's a monster. And it wouldn't have gone well for me, but 100% you get a massive payday like that on UFC 200, a champ fight.
Risk-free.
Risk-free.
Now that's the Bisping spirit, always ready for a challenge, even if the odds are a bit stacked. Let's keep an eye on the fearless fighters and the stories they bring to the octagon. UFC Fighter Drops Mic. Here's the latest buzz in the MMA world with some words of wisdom from Bobby Green to Tony Ferguson. So, Bobby Green's playing the role of the friendly neighborhood advisor, listing out a few key tips for El Cookie to bounce back and hit the win column again. Now, you've probably heard the retirement whispers echoing through the MMA community regarding Tony Ferguson. In a recent chat with the Schmo, Bobby Green spilled the beans on why he thinks Tony's got more fight left in him. Bobby Green is throwing some major respect Tony Ferguson's way, making it clear that retirement is a personal call. He's telling El Cucuy to ignore the retirement chatter and decide when he's ready to hang up the gloves. Despite acknowledging that he was handling business in their bout, Green highlights Tony's unyielding spirit. According to him, Tony never gave up and never broke, and that warrior mentality is still alive and kicking. Here's the prediction twist. He's confident that Tony's warrior spirit is going to shine through, and victory is on the horizon. Now, we all know Tony needed a game changer, and Tony's move to join forces with Goggins stirred up some controversy. He stated that,
"Yeah, everybody's saying that. You know, I'm a little confused too, just like the rest of the MMA crowd. Like, I just feel like Tony needs a sick-ass guy like me who could kind of tone in his weirdness and put some basics back together, some of the basic things, and he'll be nice, but I don't know why he's doing all this cardio stuff."
Furthermore, Green just kept laying it out for Ferguson and his game plan. He explains exactly what Ferguson needs to pull off to turn things around. He added,
"I think he'd be dope if he just picked up some of the basics, his jab a little better, you know, his head movement a little better. Those small little things like that, and he'd be great, you know? But I think that's what the problem is, that he's punching his chin still up and he's getting hit, you know? Nobody's helping him with those aspects of fighting. Not that, it's nothing to do with his heart or his cardio."
Turns out, will the UFC find a short-notice replacement for Green? The fight game's full of surprises, and we're all waiting to see if someone steps up to the plate. UFC urged to strip Jon Jones of the title. After collecting an interim heavyweight title at UFC 295, Tom Aspinall didn't waste any time hitting up the media circuit for interviews. During his interview, Tom Aspinall expressed his opinion that Jon Jones should be stripped of the title he holds due to his interim heavyweight title victory at UFC 295. Aspinall argues that when fighters get injured and can't defend their titles, it's common practice to strip them of the championship. Particularly, he is asserting that he believes he should be recognized as the true champion in the heavyweight division following his victory. I think Jon Jones should be stripped from the title, to be honest. Because everyone else does when they get injured like that, Aspinall told Michael Bisping. "I don't see why he still got it. I don't understand that. I think I should be the real champion right now." So Aspinall made some serious waves with that knockout against Pavlovich at UFC 295 just over a week ago. Meanwhile, Jones is on the bench for a while, dealing with a torn pectoral tendon. Now Aspinall's not just throwing punches in the cage, he's throwing opinions outside of it. Also, he's up for a bout with Stipe Miocic while Jones heals up. Now the big question is, should the UFC consider ditching the Jones versus Miocic plan and roll with Aspinall's suggestion? Ian Garry's bold promise for UFC 296. Recently, Ian Machado Garry is walking into UFC 296 like he owns the place. And his confidence? Through the roof. Now, they're saying Luque is going to be Garry's toughest challenge yet, whereas he's predicting nothing short of a flawless win. Big words, big stakes, right? In his interview on The Energized Show, Ian Machado Garry conveyed a bold and confident message about his upcoming fight on December 16th at UFC 296 against Vicente Luque. Garry stated that viewers should mark the date on their calendars and stay tuned because he's planning to step into the octagon. Decarin 16, stay tuned. Be ready because I'm going to go out there and I'm going to finish Vicente Luque whatever way I want, Garry said on The Energized Show. Surprisingly, he believes Irish fans have every reason to be excited about his rise in the fighting world because, in his words, he is unbelievable. He emphasizes his unique mindset and understanding of fights, claiming that he can manipulate and control opponents in any way he wants. According to him, his upcoming fight with Luque and past ones are just variations of the same result, his success and victory, as he sees himself as superior to everyone he faces. All in all, the stage is set for Garry to back up his big words in the octagon. All right, guys, that's all for today. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. See you at the next one. Until then, goodbye.